Hi, welcome to Lesson 36, Scale Factor. In today's objective, we are going to apply proportions to solve practical problems such as when we are working with scale drawings. So what does that mean? Have you ever built a model car or a model airplane or something? That's what we're talking about today. How can we find those values that they're going to be when they change the size? So a scale factor is a ratio that compares the lengths or the sizes of a drawing or a model to the lengths or the sizes of the actual object. So basically what that's saying, really quick in a nutshell, because it seems kind of confusing, is how can we take in a ratio form the length or size of a drawing or a model, the small size, and compare it then to the length or size of the actual object. All right, so we're just basically writing a proportion of the small object compared to the big object. If the scale drawing then is 10 times the size of the actual object, the scale factor is 10 to 1. So if we make a model of it and we now want to go build it, and it's going to be 10 to 1, that means our actual object is going to be 10 times bigger than what we drew it to be. Go ahead, pause the video, and copy this into your flipbook under scale factor. Okay, let's do example number 1. Jamal is making a scale drawing of his property. The drawing is 15 inches long and 12 inches wide. How long and wide is the property if 1 inch is equal to 5 feet? All right, well, let's look at what they gave us and what we know here. What they said was we are comparing the long to the wide. They're both inches, so that doesn't help. So that's why we want to say long to wide. But we also know that 1 inch is equal to 5 feet. So actually, this part right here, this is what we're comparing, our inches to our feet, because we're talking about a scale drawing. We're saying a large size compared to a small size. Okay, let's go ahead and let's write down what we know. We're comparing inches to our feet. Okay, so what did they tell us? Let's set up our value for our proportion. They said 1 inch, so under the inches, I'm going to put 1, and under the feet, it's equal to 5 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And they said the scale drawing is 15 inches long and 12 inches wide. Basically, folks, what this means is we're going to have 3 ratios. So 15 inches is going to be in one section, 15, and the 12 inches, that's for a different side, so that's going to be over here. We don't know the feet on this part, and we don't know the feet on this part. So what should we do? Yep, we're going to cross multiply. Now we're only going to focus on, for this time, let's just focus on one side at a time. So first we're going to focus on this side, okay? All right, so let's cross multiply. We're going to multiply the numbers that are opposite each other. Our variable tells us we're looking for the division part. Okay, so this is, we're going to do 5 times 15 on this side. And when we do that, I always think of a clock. 15 goes around 4 times, that makes 60 minutes. So 5 times is 75. And then we're going to divide by 1. So in this case, what does our x equal here? In this case, x is going to equal 75 feet. All right, so here is the model of the property, and he says 15 inches long. This is talking about the long side, so I'm going to put 75 here. And then this is talking about how wide the property is. So now we want to figure out this. So we're going to go back to 1 over 5, and we're going to compare it to 12 over x. And I'm going to choose a different highlighter for this one. I think we'll use blue. We're going to multiply 5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. Excellent. And you're going to divide by your number left over, which is 1. So if we do that, we say that 60 divided by 1 is, in this case, x is equal to 60 feet again. So on our drawing, 60 feet would go on our wide part. Okay? Copy this into your flipbook under your example section. Don't forget, copy the word and the example, or it won't mean anything to you later. Well, let's look at example number 2 now. This is talking about a map. This is probably, other than building models of something, a map is one that most people use in their life. We might not all be architects and build buildings. We might not all make model airplanes or model cars or anything like that. But sometime in our life, we're going to be looking at maps. Even on our GPS, on our phones or on our devices, or even in your car, they use a scale to figure out the distance. Okay, so let's look at this. A map is drawn with a scale of 1 inch that's equal to 15 miles. Nick measured the distance between the next town as 3 inches. So from where he is to the next town. He wants to know how many miles will it take him to travel to get to that next town. All right, so what do we know? We know that we're comparing inches to miles, and that he went 3 inches. All right, let's set this up. How are we going to set it up? What are the parts that we're comparing? Exactly. Inches to miles. All right, what part do we know? Yep, we know that 1 inch is equal to 15 miles. What are we trying to find out? That's this part. Excellent. We're looking for 3 inches. So how many miles then? How many miles will we be going altogether if we go 3 inches on the map? All right, I would like for you to use your calculator. What are you going to do? You're going to multiply. What are the parts you're going to multiply? That's right, opposite numbers. 15 times 3. And then you're going to divide by the leftover number, which is 1. Find your answer. How many miles did Nick travel? If you got that, Nick traveled 45 miles to get to the next town. You are correct. Excellent. Good job. Think about where you are and where would 45 miles be from there. Think if you can think of what that town would be. Of all the different places that I've lived in my life, I can think of places in all the different states. Very fun. All right, let's try the next one. Here we have Thomas is doing a scale drawing for his clubhouse. This is fun. He measured that there are 4 inches. His measurements are 4 inches by 8 inches. So he's drawing. I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. He's, let's make it blue. Okay, so he's going to draw the measurements for his playhouse, and it's going to be 4 inches by 8 inches when he draws it. So here we go. So his playhouse, maybe that's the floor of his playhouse, okay? The actual clubhouse measurements use a scale factor of 1 inch that will equal 2 feet. All right, so what do we know? We know that 1 inch is equal to 2 feet. And we have 4 inches by 8 inches. So let's go back and let's write in what we know. We know that this is going to be 8 inches on this side. This is going to be 4 inches when he draws it. So what will the actual size of this clubhouse be? Because I think it would be very, very tiny if he was making it by inches. All right, so what did he compare? That's right. He compared inches to feet again. Woo, fly away, fly away. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. So he compared inches to feet. Excellent. Okay. So what inches to what feet? That's right. He did 1 inch to 2 feet. Okay. Now, again, you see that we have two boxes set up, one here and one here. That's because of our two values up above. And remember that from our other example? Yeah. So we have 4 inches, so 4 inches, but we don't know the feet. So we're going to set that up and we're going to do this part first. So we are going to go ahead and cross multiply. We're going to multiply 2 times 4. And then we're going to get divided by 1, and we're going to find, I labeled this the first value, x to the first power, okay? And when we do that, divide by 1, you get, here we go, that the first part, x is 8 feet. So if we go in with our pen, what does this really mean? If it was 4 inches in feet, it's going to be 8 feet. That's cool. All right, so let's figure out what about the next one. All right, so again, we're going to use 1/2. Oh, that was funny. Okay, and we are going to figure out the 8 inches. So we're going to set that up. 8 inches, and this is our second side, so it's x/2. Okay, you are going to cross multiply. What are we cross multiplying? That's right. 2 and 8 this time. What are we going to divide by? Very good. We're going to divide by 1. Ooh, look at that funny color. All right. And how much will this area be for this second one? Using your calculator to find out. You should have gotten that the area for our second one, or the length of our second one, is 16 feet. Very good. So let's go back up to our scale drawing, and we know that this is going to be actually a 16-foot wall, or a 15-foot length right there, 16-foot length. Excellent. Very cool. And in our last example, we're going back to a map, and it has a scale factor of 1 inch to 25 miles. And the distance between two cities is 3.2 inches. Now, it's very important that we're not just looking at whole numbers. It's important for us to get used to using our decimal numbers. Since we can use a calculator, we don't solve it any different way. We solve it exactly the same way using our decimal. Okay, so what is the actual distance between the two cities that we're looking for? Again, we are comparing inches, to miles. Sorry, I used that dark color. And we know that there is 3.2 inches between two cities. All right, so what are we setting up? The part that we are comparing, which is, inches to miles. What do we know? Very good. We know that 1 inch is equal to 25 miles. What are we looking to solve? That's right, 3.2 inches. Okay, how do we do this again? You guys are so smart. Awesome. 3.2 to 25, 3.2 inches times the 25 miles. And we will, that's right, divide by 1. Are we seeing some pattern with this whole entire unit? No kidding. Okay, so gentlemen and ladies, whoever's looking at the video, what will we find the answer to this to be? That's right, that we will be traveling 80 miles. That's funny because we got a decimal number for our inches, but we got a whole number for our miles. That's okay. That's all right. So in this trip, we'll be traveling 80 miles. Think about where you are in the world. Think about where 80 miles is away from that. Excellent. Can you think of that location? I can. All right, for your example today, you have 2 word problems. Yes, I know it's no fun writing down all of the parts of this, but I really would like for you to write down all of the word problem and then set it up and solve it. We'll check it over next time I see you. Answer any questions. Have a good day. Bye-bye.